The COVID vaccine. We've been told over and over again that second shot is important. We should get it about 14 days. I know I've heard that somewhere. 14 days. Get that second shot. But is that really the truth? Are we being lied to? Well, here I'm going to point out a few things, and you judge for yourself. I like this one. This actually is from NBC News. Timing of second COVID vaccine doesn't need to be exact. Just get it. Talking about this actually is back from January 21st, so it's an older article, back when the vaccines were limited and everybody was panicking. The slow rollout of COVID vaccines has led some consternation that people may not be able to get their second dose within the prescribed time frame of 21 or 28 days. If we go on down here, right here, this is a CDC. The second dose should be administered as close to the recommended interval as possible. As close to. In other words, if we come on down here, the interval is for Pfizer, 21 days, for Moderna, 28 days. I had never heard of those numbers until just yesterday when I looked this stuff up. I always heard 14. Now they're telling me instead of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or even a month. And I think, where was it? It can be scheduled even up to 6 weeks after that first dose. Now, I point to this one because I'm just going to make a quick little thing. Our friends up north in Canada, they've done a couple of things. Yesterday, they gave the okay to mixing COVID brands because they don't manufacture any. This is a Good Morning America video. Talked about it. And I just kind of wanted to point out one thing right here that they pointed out. This was on the 4th. Now, this is recent. 62% of Canadians have been given one dose, but only 5.7% of the population is fully vaccinated. I think it's in here. If I go on down, maybe it's the other one, talking about percentages. As you get the second one, it'll jump from like 50, it jumps up to almost 90% effectiveness. Now here, this is from the CBC. Back in March, benefits and risks of delaying second dose of COVID-19 vaccine. I bring this up because I talked to a friend of mine in Canada who's a pharmacist, and they're saying they're still way behind on second shots. They're basically out, and the government is stating that it's actually better if we wait up to 4 months or longer for that second shot, not that recommended 21, 28 days. Health officials are planning to extend the time between two doses to 4 months. No, I like this one. Why do provinces want to space out the doses beyond official recommendations? Because they don't have any. No, it's not because we're thinking that it's better for you. No, they don't have any. That's the problem. They still don't have any. As you could tell from over here, they're still only 5.7 fully vaccinated. And this was going on back in March. They knew. And they haven't done shit. Except point out, it's okay. I think my friend actually said they're now up to like 6 months. So no, it's even past the 4 months. I like this. What is happening is, I think, very encouraging. We have real-world data, the actual experience of what's happening with the vaccination. For example, in British Columbia and Quebec, as they're vaccinating seniors in long-term care facilities, we're seeing quite high levels of protection after the first dose. Not really, because the first dose only gives like 50 to 70% protection. And apparently, I guess for them, that's high-level protection. Said experts are balancing vaccinating a large number of Canadians to achieve a good level of protection without compromising the effectiveness of the vaccine. More bullshit. Just saying, we don't have the vaccine. We still don't have the vaccine. On Wednesday, the National Advisory Committee on Immunization said it recommends that the context of limited COVID-19 vaccine supply should maximize the number of individuals benefiting from the first dose of the vaccine by extending the interval for the second dose to 4 months. Now, I'm just going to reply back here. This was back in March. They're focusing at least on the first individual. And they're only at 62% for first dose. And only 5.7 for second dose. And that's now been 3 months ago. They haven't done well. I mean, where's Biden giving some vaccine shots to Canada there to help them out so that we don't get it from Canada? What is the basis recommended dosing schedule? No. Vaccine makers tested their shots in clinical trials within certain times between doses. Pfizer vaccine is meant to be given as 2 doses, 21 days apart, while Moderna recommends 28 days. I'm not sure what AstraZeneca interval 8 to 12 weeks. I actually haven't heard of that one. I've heard of the other 2, but not that one. Man, 2 or 3 months? Even then, 4 months, now 6, and all that type of stuff just because they don't have it. What's the scientific basis for delaying? Well, the reason why they're delaying so much is because they don't have the vaccine shots. There's evidence like this. For example, to support delaying the second shot of the hepatitis A vaccine by 6 to 36 months. And that's true of other vaccines. I like this. Other vaccines. But the COVID-19 vaccines haven't been around long enough to know. In other words, they're just blowing out hot air because they're covering their ass because they don't have enough. And here's where the efficiency was. Pfizer's vaccine was 95% after both doses, but only 52% after the first dose. Moderna was actually 80% after 1 dose and 94% after the second. I mean, let's only give one 50%. That's good enough. We can all go out again. Benefits of the second dose include longer lasting protection. But I'm already hearing I think the Pfizer CEO said we're going to need a 3rd shot and then annual shots after that. So it's not really longer lasting protection at all. That's just more bullshit. Says everyone should eventually get a second dose, but as we get to the broader population, yes, I think you'll still get a benefit even if you delay the second dose. Yeah, they're, again, just, as my friend said, they're blowing sunshine up people's asses because they don't have enough. What's unknown? The variants of concern are more transmissible than the original coronavirus could throw a wrench into their works for some combinations of vaccines. Watts said neutralizing antibiotics that block the coronavirus from attaching to infection cells dropped to almost nil in test labs for those who received the Pfizer shots against the B.1.351 variant that first appeared in South Africa. After 2 doses, which gives you stronger antibodies, you still had some partial protection. They said Canada is waiting to see if the variants will take off among partially vaccinated people. Yeah, no. The entire thing, as my friend said about this, is basically blowing sunshine up their asses to make them feel better so that they're not getting the second shot within the recommended time period. Because for whatever reason, the Canadian government isn't working to get enough shots to the people. Your socialist healthcare at work. Sorry. That's what this is. People, the left, want this. They see this, but has anybody seen it? The media's ignored it. And this is what happens in the social. If you can't get it to you in time, they make up things to go, oh, it's okay. You're all good. don't mind what the manufacturer said that for maximum efficiency. We can wait 4+ months, maybe even half a year, maybe even longer, simply because we don't have our asses together enough to get enough vaccines for you, because we really don't care about you. But, let me know what you think, and I'll be back with another article.